Hi, it's Hayden from CPG. Welcome to the March ROI series for 2023. During the month, we did over 149 inspections with buyers and tenants, which resulted in 25 agreed sales and lease deals done and a square meterage footprint of just over 4,500 square meters. Some key sales and leases that I wanted to share with you, and the first of which is a sale here in Ramsgate at number 1 of 284 to 290 Rocky Point Road here in Ramsgate. Greg Carr successfully sold this property. It was a ground floor shop, 102 square meters of area, excellent frontage, great exposure and floor to ceiling glass. That property sold for $1 million neat, which is a rate per square meter of around $9,800 per square meter. Greg was actively canvassing the market for a suitable buyer. He secured an owner-occupier, which has now got a new place of business. So congratulations to the vendor on a job well done and the purchaser on their new place of business, and Greg Carr. Well done to all. Another sale here locally was at number 26 Production Avenue at Cogra. This was an industrial property, freehold asset, with a 481 square meter land area and a decent building located on that land. That property had sold for $2 million. The deal was negotiated by Ryan McMahon, and the rate per square meter on that land area, including the building, was just over $4,100 per square meter. Ryan, again, working our database, working the market, found a suitable buyer as their new place of business to move into that property. So congratulations to our vendor, the purchaser, and Ryan on a job well done. On to some leasing transactions. A strong deal negotiated in Kirrawee by Damon Asti and Ryan McMahon was at number 13 Monroe Avenue at Kirrawee. This is located directly next door to the Prince Hotel. Very popular street, Monroe Avenue, runs parallel to Princess Highway. It was a 420 square meter building. Ryan and Damon negotiated a lease term there, very strong, of 5 years plus a 5-year option. The annual rent was $130,000 per annum gross, and that rate per square meter represents around $310 per meter. Incentive to that tenant on that deal was 2 months rent free, which is around 3.3% as an overall incentive on the initial term. Congrats to the landlord, the tenant, and Ryan and Damon on a job well done. A leasing transaction in Cogra at number 24 Montgomery Street was transacted by Greg Carr. It was a 56 square meter commercial office space. Greg negotiated a new lease there with a tenant on a 2-year term plus a 3-year option. The annual rent was $29,000 per annum gross. The rate per square meter was $518 per square meter. The incentive provided to that tenant was 2 weeks, which represents just under a 2% incentive on the deal. Congrats to our landlord, the tenant, and Greg on another job well done. An industrial leasing transaction at number 26E 1-3 Endeavour Road was negotiated by Jackson Chambers. It was a 145 square metre industrial factory unit. The annualised rent was $50,000 per annum. The rate per square metre achieved was $345 per metre. Jackson negotiated a 2-year deal plus a 1-year option with a 0 incentive, meaning rent started from lease commencement. Congrats to the landlord, the tenant, and Jackson as always. Another industrial lease down in Tarrant Point was also conducted by Jackson Chambers. This was at number 26 of 58 Box Road. That property was a 257 square metre factory unit. Jackson was able to negotiate a strong annual rent of $70,000 per annum gross, which is a rate per square metre of around $275 per metre. The lease term achieved there was a 12-month lease with a further 12-month option. The reason for the 12 months is that tenant needed extra space on top of their already existing facility. So Jackson was able to close that transaction, meaning that our landlord received rent from day one and a 0 incentive, meaning rent started also from day one. Congrats to the landlord, the tenant, and Jackson on another successful transaction in the Shire. So that's the wrap for March 2023. During the quarter alone, we transacted just on 70 deals. Very strong, very encouraging, and more importantly, strong rate per square meters and relatively good leasing and sales outcomes. As I always say, if anyone has any questions with regards to selling, leasing, or management, here at CPG, we pride ourselves on giving professional expertise advice. Please reach out to anyone here at CPG.